focus on one particular player, kind of refer to him as the team captain, so to speak. And when it comes to the candidates for that, I would really have to look at number 43 forward, Dylan Slazeman for the Lions. Granted, it's a very small sample size, 0-2 as of now for LMU, but those 2 games, he's put up 2 goals, so on average 1 per. But I think, again, when you have to kind of predicate the offense around somebody, he's one of the best candidates on this roster. Additionally, to that point, better offensive looks. Last game, Arizona State held LMU to just 3 of 23 when it came to shots and shots on goal. That's 13%. You got to get that number up. You got to get that efficiency up, that production up in just about every way, shape, or form if you're the Lions. And lastly, in the nicest way possible, right? Experimentation. Again, 0-2, yet to put up any quality performances, yet to get any victories so far in the season, and coming into another match where you lost to this very same Arizona State Sun Devils team by 6 points just 2 days ago. Try things out. Again, throw things out the wall and see what sticks.
What about Arizona State? What do they need to do to keep up this hot streak?
Arizona State, similarly to LMU, forwards, right? This is a question of offense at this point, and I'm looking at number 13, Jason Horner. He's been absolutely incredible this season. I would say if anybody is going to be running that offense for the Sun Devils, it's going to be Mr. Horner. Last game on Friday, he started, tallied up 1 goal, 3 assists, an incredible offensive performance out of him, and especially when it comes to the playmaking department, you love to see a goal scorer help out with the other team, right? Get everybody else involved, and that adds up to just so many win-by-committee opportunities on the offensive side, like we talked about for the Division II team. Next thing up, though, limiting penalties. Arizona State was very, very disciplined when it came to limiting penalties in that 6-point lead on Friday, and I think you just keep that going, you know. You're only setting yourself up for success. And last but not least, bench production, right? Win by committee offense. I said it earlier today. I'm saying it now. I'll probably say it a billion more times throughout the span of this game. But looking at the numbers, Arizona State's bench was responsible for 6 of 9 Sun Devil goals on Friday, 9 of 13 assists. That's exactly what you want to see out of any kind of offense, making sure that it's not just one person, it's not just 2 people really being responsible for an offensive powerhouse, but everybody contributing, everybody being significant, and I think the Sun Devils really have that in mind.
Well said, Andrew. Between Division II and Division III, between Loyola Marymount and Arizona State is looking for a clean sweep. We now take it down to center ice for the playing of the national anthem.
Innovation at the Walter Cronkite School is pushing the boundaries of traditional journalism.
Storytelling has evolved over the years. This is part of that evolution.
Students in the Innovation and Entrepreneurship Lab are using emerging technology to create scenes in augmented and virtual reality, coding playable games, and bringing the audience into the story.
They're only limited by their imagination and their willingness to learn.
Find out more at cronkite.asu.edu. Here at the Walter Cronkite School, students produce award-winning content that focuses on health disparities in underserved communities and how to turn things around. In Cronkite News and Cronkite Noticias, students cover stories that affect people of color, the LGBTQ+ community, people with disabilities, and others across the Southwest.
We highlight big problems that are often overlooked in communities that are underserved.
Those stories not only inform and educate people about the challenges, but we work hard to highlight potential solutions. In the Cronkite Agency, students work to connect with community members through social media campaigns in English and Spanish.
Being a Hispanic myself, it's nice to be able to give back to my own community.
Find more of our health coverage at cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
People have always had trouble trying to put me into a box. A professor, suit and tie is just not me. Without the ocean, I don't know what I would do. You know, the ocean's always been there for me. As Hawaiian people, we believe that the coral is the first living being to come out of the darkness. It's the foundation of our entire lifestyle, and that's what my research is about. What we do is we take photographs of the reef over long periods of time to create models that can tell us what the planet is doing. If we go deaf to what the Earth is telling us, then we'll never be able to live in harmony. If I can get my students excited about protecting the ocean, then they're the ones who are gonna really make the difference. I hope my students realize that I'm not trying to prepare them for something in the distant future. Their time is now at Arizona State University.
When I was younger, there were no engineers around me, so I had to become my own role model. At ASU,
And welcome back to Mullet Arena as we are set for the puck drop of this Division III ACHA hockey game between Arizona State and Loyola Marymount. As I said before, the Division II club team with a clean sweep on Friday and today
Oh, yeah.
over the Lions. And this Division III club hockey team looking to do the same via 4-0 Arizona State Sun Devils sweep between both programs, I should say.
And here we go, and there we don't go. Arizona State coming into this one with a record of 4-2, as we mentioned previously, but first in the WCHC division, and there we go. We got hockey today. Number 14 in all of Division III hockey. Don't tell me there's another stoppage. Okay, there we go. It's kind of like the first round of the D2 game, right?
Yeah. It's not even 10 seconds in yet. Already 2 stoppages of play.
That's the hockey I love.
Another face-off. Again, we saw in the Division II game, Arizona State really corralled most of those face-offs, and that's why they were able to have the majority of the time of possession throughout that game. Scuffle behind the boards already. And again, you said most of your keys to the game for the Loyola Marymount Lions is just try something new, experiment. That's already a score by number 77 on Arizona State. Not even 30 seconds into the game yet.
That's Tyler Tremoroli. Not only does he put in his first goal of the game, and if I'm not mistaken, his first goal of the season. I could be wrong on that one, but he is a Phoenix, Arizona native, like me, for the next year.
There you go. And that was, again, it was off the ricochet. I don't think they'll give an assist to anyone there, but an early score here for the Arizona State Sun Devils.
That's great looks. Oh. Confirmed it was Tremoroli.
You said first goal of the season. That's got to feel good to get your first goal of the year.
Again, could be mistaken, but at the very least, first of the night, as Arizona State looks to push the transition. Oh, there goes the skates.
Slips. We saw a lot of guys slip early into last game as well.
And here's the thing. That's Andres Freeman, Colorado native. That little slip-up actually caused a good defensive play, so, good for him.
The Lions now wrapping it around the boards, already down by 1. Not even a minute into this game.
Goalkeeper for Arizona State, number 45, Kai Rivas. He did not start last game. In fact, it was number 95, Spencer Liebrich. He is a Scottsdale, Arizona native. Put up 23 saves on 23 shot attempts, allowing only 3 goals in that last one. But Kai Rivas, actually a Tempe native, so I'm sure he probably just could have walked here, in theory.
And I wonder why that Liebrich didn't get that start. He is 20 of 23 attempts, I should say, throughout the year. Maybe a managerial decision.
You gotta ask coach.
Yeah. Stoppage of play, a minute 30 into this game. I like that both teams are repping different kind of uniforms. In the Division II game, the Sun Devils were in the gold uniforms.
LMU,
now they're in the maroon.
Yeah. And the thing is that these aren't LMU's typical colors. I'm not very savvy with Loyola Marymount colorways and things. I will say, like for UCF example, where I went to undergrad, it's obviously black and gold, a little bit of white there. But then, for example, a Space University football game, it's light blue, kind of shades of blue, splashes of purple here and there as well, and then a lot of black too. So that might be one of those kind of alternate uniform, alternate colorways, and I really like it. It looks very Los Angeles. Very,
especially with the light, vibrant colors.
Oh yeah, like Vice colors. Those old Miami Heat from Tyler Hero's rookie season, all that. I like those colors. And ASU has beautiful jerseys as well. That maroon really pops. Sparky on the front. Love to see it.
Arizona State, number 11, quarterback takes a shot save there. See how Loyola Marymount's goalie will handle an early score. Flush that down and move on to the next one. Great cut there. Another great lunging save.
What a save there.
By Colton Marcy from Valley Center, California.
He also didn't start last game.
So we have 2 backup goalies here.
Yes,
I guess you could say.
Not backups anymore.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, last time around for Loyola Marymount, it was Ethan Hahn, native of Rancho Cucamonga. 39 saves on 48 save attempts, allowing 9 goals. That makes more of a decision, or more of a, what's the word?
There's better reason to,
that makes more sense to switch around potentially.
Scuffle near the crease. Another lunging save by Marcy. He's been doing a great job during this possession to hold off this Sun Devil offense.
Putting his body on the line there. That's what you want to see out of a goalie who, to an extent, is redeeming himself, right? Putting yourself on the line.
Scuffle behind the boards. Another wraparound shot gets deflected up in the air, and that will hit the net behind the glass. It's been on this side of Arizona State's. It's been on the side of the rink for Arizona State, I should say.
Yeah, a lot of time on our left-hand side.
Yeah. Probably for the game plan for the Lions here is to try to clear it out or get in transition. or win a faceoff. They haven't won one faceoff yet, and that faceoff, spoke that into existence, has been won by Loyola Marymount. There's the clear.
Brendan
But
Lewis.
the referee is still blocking the puck.
Brendan Lewis playing some good preventative defense for Arizona State should that puck find itself in ASU's defensive zone or in the neutral zone.
Arizona State now is looking for number 18 there. Try to get a dump pass.
Connor Sessa,
Easy score for
Scottsdale
Sessa.
native. A lot of local players here for really both teams.
Yeah. More local than last game we had. Last game we had a guy from Canada,
Yeah.
a couple from Texas.
Oh, as
Atlanta.
A matter of fact, there is a Canadian for Loyola Marymount's defensive lineup. This number 39, Carson Dick. He's from Winnipeg, Canada. We'll see if he steps onto the ice at some point. It's hard to tell. I will say the jerseys from the back do look like the font, right? It
Yeah.
can be a little bit hard to read. But I you know,
Probably easier than the black unis from last game.
you think so?
I think
Because
so.
it was also red on black, so you know that.
That
it's
is true.
dark on dark and now light on light. You know, pick your poison, I guess.
Easy save there.
That was close. Good contest there from Rivas. Showing he belongs in this starting lineup in the net.
Yeah, number 43, Dylan Slazeman, someone we talked about in our mini pregame show. He had a shot attempt there. Could not get it to go.
And a good play there as well by number 3 for
Oh,
Arizona
great play. 1-on-0. Great save there by Tracy.
Jobs
Marcy, I
unfinished.
should say.
What a stoppage there by LMU. And now Arizona State getting back on defense relatively slow because there's still 2 defensemen back there. But way to go for the Sun Devils to not give up an easy look.
16, Allison dishes it off to number 89. Tries to get it back to Allison.
Cole
Gets
Allison,
gets
guess where he
deflected.
woke up this morning?
In Tempe.
Goodyear, Arizona.
Goodyear, Arizona. Hey,
Hey.
Goodyear.
Yeah,
Hello,
last
Boozas, if you're watching.
game, probably the star of the show, if not one of them. Number 16, Cole Allison, as we were talking about. 1 goal, 1 assist, no time in the penalty box.
That's
for
going to
the-
be big. I think much like last game, too, if the Lions find themselves in penalty issues, then it's going to be tough for them to try to claw back into the game. Now, here's a breakaway off the post there.
Good look
Number
by the
21,
Sun
William
Devils.
Playwa, went with the shot on goal there. Hits the right post.
Yeah, you were mentioning it. In terms of penalty minutes, limiting that, I think both of these teams are relatively disciplined in that field. Last game, Arizona State only 6 minutes in the penalty box for the entire team, and as for LMU, only 8 minutes. So I don't think that's much of an issue, especially considering the game that we just covered a few hours ago. That was
Right.
a big issue for both teams, but
But I think the key for both of these teams, if there are penalty situations, they're going to have to take advantage just because of the lack of penalties and a lot of discipline that both these defensive units have.
yeah.
Going to have to take advantage of the power plays, and we'll see what they will do in those power plays and what kind of offensive sets they'll go into.
Jason Horner putting his shoulder down into the opposing defense coming into this one. I mentioned him before the show, but he's one of the stars of this team as Arizona State gets a good look.
That was Lewis there.
Brandon Lewis, yes. From
Different
Litchfield
numbers,
Park.
different number on the rink that we see on our roster sheet. We'll get used to it. Well, Marymount tries to clear and switches the line there, but Arizona State retains possession. A bit of an advantage now for ASU, but ASU wraps around the boards to the other side.
Good pass there from William Plua, number 21 for the maroon and gold from Buffalo, New York.
That's a hockey town, yeah.
Yeah.
Sabres. It's good to see some Midwest, Canadian, Northeast guys playing in this game today. Oh, great diving effort there. Shot saved by Marcy.
Yeah, multiple defensive lines there to not only prevent the shot, but prevent the shot really from even being taken, getting contact on that stick.
Another
early.
save by Marcy. ASU really keeping up this pressure early.
Yeah, he's doing well. Despite letting up the 1 goal, he's been having a really good game so far, Marcy.
Now behind their own goal,
Ooh.
ASU looking to slow things down, set things up.
Now, something about Division III hockey that I've come to notice is that a lot of it is, it comes into coaching schemes. So as a result, you do get multiple kind of win by committee offenses. He's a good look.
Saved again by Marcy, but we do have a whistle by one of the referees on the far side of your screen.
Yes, and again, this is an offense really for both teams that is predicated on getting a good system going and playing into that system. You'll notice when Arizona State was on its defensive zone looking for an opening, whether left, right, or middle of the ice to take it up, force the offensive push, you got one guy on either side providing that wing pressure, that wing help, and then from there they'll just take it up. It's like a three-man weave in basketball.
Yeah,
That's the closest thing you can, put it to. Plus it's 5-on-5 anyway, so mathematically it's very similar. That hit his face.
Shot hits the face, man. That's why you wear a helmet, folks.
Oh my goodness. That was Mark Baldwin from San Mateo, California, who took that one. He seems to be fine.
Loyola Marymount weathering the early storm that Arizona State.
Dylan Slazeman, number 43 there for LMU, looking to put his shoulder down into a Sun Devil. It does not work.
Now here are the Lions on the attack, probably the first one of the game so far, 8 minutes in.
Hudson Brown with the puck, looking for an opening, but can't get much. A lot of coverage here from ASU. Good job on the defensive side. Hudson Brown, number 88 for the Lions. Oh, picked his pocket, took his lunch money there. Starting for this one is Brown, an LA native. 1 assist in his last matchup against ASU. And on the bright side as well, no time in the penalty box.
That'll be something to look for during this game today. How the teams will handle the penalty box in the power play.
Absolutely. It's going to be probably the key to the game if there are going to be any. And a few plays prior, Mr. Joseph Rosenberg, number 40 in the maroon and gold. Someone out there is calling for the puck. He said, I'm open.
It's number 13, not number 18, excuse me. Number 18, Connor Sessa from Scottsdale, trying to make something happen. No dice on that one. Arizona State now trying to regroup on the offensive end.
Rosenberg, ironically, a native of California despite going up against a Cali team right now. But last game, 2 goals and no time in the penalty. 2 goals off the bench. That's incredible.
That bench production from both the Division II and Division III Arizona State squads is, that's probably their strongest point of both of their teams.
Absolutely, and when you're looking at a team like this D3 Sun Devils roster, who once again number 1 in the WCHC, 11 points so far in the season, that's the kind of stuff that keeps you afloat in the long term, right? Developing these guys from the start of the season. Right now, ASU has played, only 6 games? Yep. That's the kind of stuff that keeps you around in the long term. And actually, last season, these Sun Devils were number 1 in the division and number 3 in all of Division III hockey. 26-6 record last season, 52 points, a great showcase for the Sun Devils in 2024-2025, looking to replicate some more of it at the start of this 25-26 season.
We have a whistle, and there will be a face-off in Loyola Marymount zone.
Yeah, I actually do really like these jerseys.
Yeah,
both of them.
Yeah.
ASU's jerseys are very strong. I don't know if that makes any sense.
No, I agree, and it'll be easier for us to relay names to you guys back at home.
True.
Loyola Marymount trying to get their first goal early into this first period. Shot above the goal. Hits the glass. Scuffle in the corner for the puck.
I believe that was Colin Ubrig of Arizona State's front line.
Arizona State ended up with the puck for a moment, and now the puck is still loose. Finally corralled by Arizona State. Now looking for the attack. A 1-on-3. He takes the shot, gets deflected.
That's Dominic Poliladis, Connecticut native. Number 6 there, forcing a good offensive possession by the Sun Devils. Well, he's got a man open. Yeah, you got to get that.
I thought he was looking to clear. Then out, shot saved again. Man, these Arizona State goalies these last 2 games have been great. They've been exquisite with their timing.
Really have. Exquisite is a big word, Tony.
Slap shot.
Ooh,
wide.
A little bit too far right, but those are the kinds of shots you want to get off if you're under Arizona State. If you get those long shots from distance, maybe even from your neutral zone, to go into the net or at least come close, you're going to be forcing the opposition to spread its defense around. And that just opens up opportunities inside close to the net. It's really all it is. Use your spacing to your advantage. And here's a 2-on-2. No, 1-on-3 now due to a late substitution.
Trying to make a move and nothing happened. Another wrist shot. That's wide. Not a lot of shots on goal so far with the Lions. They need to hone in.
Yeah, that was
now
94.
A breakaway, a 2-on-1 breakaway. Look, see what he does here. Wrist shot, scores!
There it is.
A great score there.
What a snipe from the right side, Arizona State.
Number 16, Cole Allison there with the score. again, similar to what we saw last game, too.
Yes.
Bit of a scuffle on their own defensive end for Arizona State. Gets poked out to do the complete other side of the ice. When you have 2 against 1 back there, you can pretty much do whatever you want.
Absolutely.
Instead of overthinking it and pass to his teammate, takes the wrist shot and scores top left shelf.
Cole Allison, one of ASU's 6 starters. Let's see if we can get an assist. Yes, that's going to be Tyler Trevoroli. He scored the first goal, so now he's already up to 1 goal and 1 assist. Number 77, Tyler Trevoroli, the Phoenix native. And in fact, Cole Allison, again, the Goodyear guy, he puts up his first goal of the night, of the evening, excuse me.
Had 1 goal last game, I believe,
He did. He had a goal and an assist I was going to mention. So he's now on 2 consecutive games. He's on a good little streak.
Again, you see that bench production. We're going to keep saying it, too, over the course of today's game. You see that bench production from Arizona State. Such a good chemistry, good quality to have bench production with great goalie play.
Absolutely. So far, only Arizona State starters have had to do with offensive pushes. Chimaroli, Allison, both in that top 3. Almost had an opportunity there for the Sun Devils to put in their 3rd goal. Look at the speed.
Shot saved again. Yeah, he's gliding down the rink.
That Lion's looking like a cheetah.
Check there by Loyola Marymount. Bit of a whiff there. Back in possession of Arizona State as they try to set something up here. Trying to get out of their own defensive zone. Great pass there. It's another one-on-one here. Tremoroli shot high. I like the way that Arizona State has been aggressive. They're keeping it pushing. Already up to a 2-0 lead within the first 12 minutes of play.
That's something the Division II team, despite such a blowout performance just a few hours ago, cannot relate to. But again, there's still plenty of time for anything to happen in this one.
And Arizona State looking for complete and utter dominance.
William Plewa.
And that one goes over the glass and almost hits a fan, reminiscent of the first game we had.
Yeah, I think it did. I think it did hit a fan.
She's all right. Again, she's been to a couple hockey games in her day. She'll be all right. That's a souvenir for her again, too.
Oh, and it's got Sparky on it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, that's such a good souvenir.
Unfortunately, Black Sharpie won't work on that puck. But if they're carrying around a silver Sharpie, that might do.
You think so?
Probably. Arizona State now.
3 will only take you so far.
There you go. Behind their own boards, Arizona State looking for a penalty there. A nice aggressive play, a nice aggressive check from number 39 on the Loyola Marymount Lions. Arizona State clears it. 15 minutes in.
Zachariah, your cannon, native of Mesa, Arizona, not too far from this very building. On that last play. This one's a completely different story.
Sticks everywhere in the crease, and I think Marcy ended up covering that one up.
I believe you're right.
We'll have another face-off in Arizona State's offensive zone. What are you seeing so far? What do you think the Loyola Marymount Lions need to do in order to stop the bleeding, get back into this game?
I think just being a little bit more disciplined on the offensive side. We've seen, again, we mentioned it a few minutes into the broadcast, especially when that first goal was scored, but a lot of time of possession taking place on our left-hand side, Arizona State's offensive, Loyola Marymount's defensive zone. And when it comes to forcing that, again, offensive push as
wavering a little bit.
Yeah,
I agree, yeah.
Yeah, there's not much going on in favor of the Lions offense at the moment. And again, that's reminiscent of last game. But you always want to come into each match saying it's a clean slate, you know, new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new light for me, right? And hopefully that is the case for the Lions in terms of, you know, competition, but as this one gets called a dead play, yeah, I just think pushing the pace down for Loyola Marymount, taking advantage of those offensive transition opportunities, and that's really not only where you can get a lot of goals from opposing errors, but you get the highest percentage, right? If you can break away and it's just one line against Arizona State's goalie, you love those odds. And even if it's a one-on-one, 2v2, 3v3,
Shot
whatever.
glove save.
But you want to maintain that full court pressure and not settle into this half-court style of offense that I believe LMU has been struggling to maintain, at least throughout the span of this match.
That one gets cleared.
It's probably going to be icing. There it is.
One would say.
One would say.
And on that last possession from Arizona State, the defenseman Dylan went to scoring for that one, but Popped it up over the net.
Yeah.
We've seen that a couple times already today.
We have Dylan Wentz coming off a really good performance last time around, coming off the bench. 1 assist for the Atlanta, Georgia native. Keep an eye out for him, number 8, one of the better defensemen on this Arizona State roster.
Tyler Tremaroli for the face-off, and that's another face-off won by Arizona State.
Doing a
And
great
that
job in
time of
department.
possession, Arizona State completely controlling the time of possession in this first period.
Oh, yeah. Cade Gramlich there, native of Scottsdale, Arizona. Fighting for possession.
Lost the puck, and here come the Lions on the attack. 2-on-2 here.
A 1-2 touch with the wall.
Saved again.
A bit distant there, yeah. Risky play there by the Sun Devils, and again, I mentioned LMU having to push the offense. And that was a great example of it, you know, taking advantage of that left wing, turning the corner, and turning on the booster jets for the Lions offense. And it was a good look at the goal. It didn't necessarily relate to a score, but that's the kind of stuff that you want to set up for yourself. Now it appears Arizona State has put in a secondary goalkeeper into its net. It's going to be hard to find out who it is, given that the numbers are facing away from us.
I believe it's usually number 32, Alexander Frink.
Frink, also a Tempe native. But again, of the 3 goalie roster for Arizona State, Spencer Liebig from Scottsdale, he's the one who started and played the entire 60-minute game on Friday.
And clearly, coach has enough confidence.
Oh.
I know that's another goal from Arizona
There it
State.
is.
Weaving
Great
it,
offensive looks there from ASU.
weaving past goalkeeper Colton Marcy, and that's the 3rd goal of the game already.
Yeah, we still got 4:20 left in the first frame. If I'm not mistaken, that was number 89, Cade Gramlich from Scottsdale. Again, 1 goal, 2 assists. No penalty time for the Scottsdale native. Coming off the bench last time around. This time getting the starting nod. Great for him. And it's coming to fruition this time around for the Sun Devils.
And maybe it's too early to say, but we might be in for another blowout here.
Confirmed it was Gramlich.
And you see from last game and this game, a lot of different Arizona State Sun Devils getting their name on the score sheet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's a whistle there. Stays on the Lions' offensive zone.
Yeah, that's a Coach Holt masterclass. That's what you want to see out of your offense, everybody getting involved. It's not like you can lock down one of Arizona State's forwards and now there's no scoring for 1, 2, 3 periods of play. Oh my goodness. Sorry, there was just a crazy juke
Shot
there.
saved by Marcy. He corrals that one.
What incredible stick work there by number 86, Andres Freeman from Colorado. Had his defender literally and figuratively on skates, stumbling in his own footprints. Jason Horner now, it appears, in the faceoff for Arizona State.
Line change here as well for the Lions and for the Sun Devils. Wraps it back behind the boards, trying to find a look. A lot of sticks in that scuffle. That puck pops out, back in control of Arizona State. Trying to get out of the corner, trying to set up their offense now to take a early 4-0 lead.
Now I believe this is one of the first few plays that we've seen Anthony Goose, number 3 for Arizona State, currently playing as one of the forwards. The Illinois native, nevertheless, as there's a bit of a tumble there, everything seems to be okay. Played defense, as a matter of fact, last season. So again, a multiple trick pony. You love to see a hockey player of this caliber being able to play whatever position he so chooses.
And the Lions again having that advantage in that breakout, that 3-on-2 advantage, but a pass that did not land into the stick of a Loyola Marymount Lion. And those are the opportunities that the Lions are going to need in order to claw back into this game. Again, 2 periods left to play. We still have 3 minutes left in the first period, but we're going to need to start executing.
I agree. Yeah, and on the defensive side of things as well, Jason Horner, a forward, as ASU gets a shot off. Jason Horner putting up a good defensive play there. It was a bit of a tip drill, so to speak, in the middle of Arizona State's defensive zone. Horner got in the way of it, was able to deflect the puck just enough for it to bounce towards the outside away from the goal. And although it wasn't much of, oh, there was such a clean look for the Sun Devils. Hard to tell who had that look there. It's going to be Joseph Rosenberg, the scorer of two goals coming off the bench from last time around. Had the opportunity of a lifetime there handed to him on a silver platter. But again, Jason Horner, a good defensive play to get a bobbling puck outside of the danger zone.
Now here come the lines on the attack. Yeah, one gets poked away. Poke-checked away, I should say. Mid-line change. Yeah, Rosenberg trying to weave through. That puck gets deflected again.
Yeah, I like the brand of offense he's playing. Almost an illegal substitution there for LMU. But the fact that he's spacing the floor out a lot for the Sun Devils, again, just opens up opportunities for good passes like that on weak sides. Then just opens up the middle, kind of like that.
Great pass. Could not find a look on that one. Wraps it back around.
That's the dunker spot if you're a hockey player.
Yeah.
Wow,
another goal there.
Arizona State putting up its third of the day. Fourth of the day, sorry, I lost count. It's too many.
Again, we saw that they jumped out to that early start on Friday. They ended up winning 9-3. It's kind of looking to be leaning towards that kind of a game again today.
Yes, en route to score 12 goals in this one, maybe even 13 based on the amount of time left.
And number 7, Keegan Wetterberg, the Minnesota native on that goal. Again, another deflection goal for the Arizona State Sun Devils. And now after the face-off, the Lions are looking to push, trying to salvage one goal with 1:30 remaining in the first period.
Good to see Wetterberg putting a puck in the back of the net. He struggled in that last game against LMU, but this time around he's able to put one in for his own name and just add to this Arizona State lead.
Arizona State again on the offensive just like that with a minute left.
Dylan Wendt, good job pushing the offense once again, despite him being a defenseman.
That puck gets mixed up a little bit in the crease area.
I'll tell you what, I really thought that was going to be another goal.
No, we are now under 1 minute to go.
This is a tale of two stories, by the way. I'm sure LMU's goalkeeper, Colton Marcy, is stressed out of his mind. Whereas on the other hand, ASU's goalkeeper, which actually, once again,
I believe Alexander Frink, but to your point.
Yeah, I mean, he was just like spinning around.
He's kind of taking a day off today.
Now he's locked in once again.
Arizona State again. But to your point, before the game started, not a lot of penalties today.
Yeah.
And we could kind of throw some of those penalty margins out the window. You're down 4-0. You got to make something happen quick. Puck now still mixed up. Arizona State still will retain possession in their offensive zone. Great move there. Trying to get off a shot. He shoots left.
If he made that, oh my goodness. That was Dylan Wendt once again.
15 seconds ago. Arizona State looking to get 1 or 2 more shots on goal before the period ends. We do have a line change coming in for our remaining 15 seconds.
And yes, you're right. It's Alexander Frink at the moment. And for Arizona State's goalkeeping position, Tempe native once again. So
a lot of local guys.
Yes, a lot of local guys. In fact, only very local guys for Arizona State's goalkeepers. 2 Tempe natives. Oh, good accidental deflection there from Dylan Wendt, as he was completely horizontal and he still made a good defensive play.
5 seconds left the line, trying to get one last shot off, and they will not.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
And at the end of the first period,
that was almost a goal too. Keeper had to kick it away.
Your Arizona State Sun Devils lead 4-0. Andrew, what are your thoughts around after that first period?
I think the numbers that you just said, 4-0, really speak for themselves. There's not much else that I, or maybe even you, or the stat sheet, or anything else can really add to this. This seems to be very clear-cut. Arizona State dominance, very superficial. The offense is doing great. Transition defense leading to, once again, offensive opportunities. Loyola Marymount tripping over its own sticks, over its own skates multiple times, and just everybody being able to score, everybody being able to contribute for ASU's offense just means the world to this Sun Devils roster.
And we will be back shortly. Grab a snack, take a break, grab your favorite cold beverage, and we will be back for the second period.
Get a hot beverage. Please get a hot beverage.
As a teacher, you just want to reach people. You want to make a difference. You want to help them. I have an opportunity to do something I never imagined I would be able to do. Go out and build the best biology class the world has ever seen. When you go into Dreamscape Learn, you put on a set of goggles and you can go anywhere. You can be anyone and do anything. The thing about Arizona State University is they're always thinking about what's next. We can create virtual reality experiences so that you can learn by exploring in a virtual world the way that scientists explore in the real world. And kids can feel that. All these emotions are what help the brain encode information. When I see a student come out of VR, the look on their face is nothing like I've ever seen when I finish a lecture. They look so happy to be there. In that moment, you know that you've reached them.
Innovation at the Walter Cronkite School is pushing the boundaries of traditional journalism.
Storytelling has evolved over the years. This is part of that evolution.
Students in the Innovation and Entrepreneurship Lab are using emerging technology to create scenes in augmented and virtual reality, coding playable games, and bringing the audience into the story.
They're only limited by their imagination and their willingness to learn.
Find out more at cronkite.asu.edu. Here at the Walter Cronkite School, students produce award-winning content that focuses on health disparities in underserved communities and how to turn things around. In Cronkite News and Cronkite Noticias, students cover stories that affect people of color, the LGBTQ+ community, people with disabilities, and others across the Southwest.
We highlight big problems that are often overlooked in communities that are underserved.
Those stories not only inform and educate people about the challenges, but we work hard to highlight potential solutions. In the Cronkite Agency, students work to connect with community members through social media campaigns in English and Spanish.
Being a Hispanic myself, it's nice to be able to give back to my own community.
Find more of our health coverage at cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
People have always had trouble trying to put me into a box. A professor, suit and tie is just not me. Without the ocean, I don't know what I would do. The ocean's always been there for me. As Hawaiian people, we believe that the coral is the first living being to come out of the darkness. It's the foundation of our entire lifestyle, and that's what my research is about. What we do is we take photographs of the reef over long periods of time to create models that can tell us what the planet is doing. If we go deaf to what the Earth is telling us, then we'll never be able to live in harmony. If I can get my students excited about protecting the ocean, then they're the ones who are gonna really make the difference. I hope my students realize that I'm not trying to prepare them for something in the distant future. Their time is now at Arizona State University.
When I was younger, there were no engineers around me. So I had to become my own role model. At ASU, I wasn't just learning to be an engineer. I was actually engineering. And graduating, I already had real-world jobs lined up. Before ASU, my goal was to be a strong, confident woman. And when I left, I became a strong, confident engineer.
I grew up in a small border town, and water was really important to us. Without enough water, we can't farm, we can't eat, we can't live. And the way we're doing it right now, straight up doesn't have a future. I went to ASU because this is a place where you solve problems. With vertical farming, we can grow the same amount of food with 95% less water than traditional farming. The work I'm doing at ASU is changing the way I look at the world.
As a teacher, you just want to reach people. You want to make a difference. You want to help them. I have an opportunity to do something I never imagined I would be able to do. Go out and build the best biology class the world has ever seen. When you go into Dreamscape Learn, you put on a set of goggles and you can go anywhere. You can be anyone and do anything. The thing about Arizona State University is they're always thinking about what's next. We can create virtual reality experiences so that you can learn by exploring in a virtual world the way that scientists explore in the real world. And kids can feel that. All these emotions are what help the brain encode information. When I see a student come out of VR, the look on their face is nothing like I've ever seen when I finish a lecture. They look so happy to be there. In that moment, you know that you've reached them.
Innovation at the Walter Cronkite School is pushing the boundaries of traditional journalism.
Storytelling has evolved over the years. This is part of that evolution.
Students in the Innovation and Entrepreneurship Lab are using emerging technology to create scenes in augmented and virtual reality, coding playable games, and bringing the audience into the story.
They're only limited by their imagination and their willingness to learn.
Find out more at cronkite.asu.edu. Here at the Walter Cronkite School, students produce award-winning content that focuses on health disparities in underserved communities and how to turn things around. In Cronkite News and Cronkite Noticias, students cover stories that affect people of color, the LGBTQ+ community, people with disabilities, and others across the Southwest.
We highlight big problems that are often overlooked in communities that are underserved.
Those stories not only inform and educate people about the challenges, but we work hard to highlight potential solutions. In the Cronkite Agency, students work to connect with community members through social media campaigns in English and Spanish.
Being a Hispanic myself, it's nice to be able to give back to my own community.
Find more of our health coverage at cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
People have always had trouble trying to put me into a box. A professor, suit and tie is just not me. Without the ocean, I don't know what I would do. The ocean's always been there for me. As Hawaiian people, we believe that the coral is the first living being to come out of the darkness. It's the foundation of our entire lifestyle, and that's what my research is about. What we do is we take photographs of the reef over long periods of time to create models that can tell us what the planet is doing. If we go deaf to what the Earth is telling us, then we'll never be able to live in harmony. If I can get my students excited about protecting the ocean, then they're the ones who are gonna really make the difference. I hope my students realize that I'm not trying to prepare them for something in the distant future. Their time is now at Arizona State University.
When I was younger, there were no engineers around me. So I had to become my own role model. At ASU, I wasn't just learning to be an engineer. I was actually engineering. And graduating, I already had real-world jobs lined up. Before ASU, my goal was to be a strong, confident woman. And when I left, I became a strong, confident engineer.
I grew up in a small border town, and water was really important to us. Without enough water, we can't farm, we can't eat, we can't live. And the way we're doing it right now, straight up doesn't have a future. I went to ASU because this is a place where you solve problems. With vertical farming, we can grow the same amount of food with 95% less water than traditional farming. The work I'm doing at ASU is changing the way I look at the world.
Welcome back to Mullet Arena. If you're just joining us, Arizona State with a commanding 4-0 lead to start and after the first period. We talked about this pregame. Loyola Marymount, a lot of lack of shots in that first half. As well, they've had trouble possessing the puck.
Yeah.
It feels like they're on the defensive end the whole time. But on the flip side, Arizona State, Tyler Tremoroli's hot start. What can you say about that?
Tyler Tremoroli, man, he's making a supersonic man out of this offense. He's got already 1 goal, 1 assist in this match. On the season, he's got 1 goal and 2 assists, so that's already adding to one of the better statistics of the entire Sun Devils roster. He's had an incredible impact so far, and again, we're talking about only 1 period into the match, into this game. It's easy to say there's only more to come for Mr. Tremoroli.
What do you think Loyola Marymount needs to do to stop the bleeding, to claw back its way into the game? I know it's a lot. What do you think they need to focus on the most?
I think just starting off with good half-court, half-rink. What just happened there? Who was that? Did you see that? That was Dylan Wentz. Oh, man. Sorry, back to what we were talking about. No, just holding off on some good half-court defense, because from there it really just builds on transition opportunities. And if you're Loyola Marymount, again, I sound like a broken record. You just want to get as many transition looks for the offense as you possibly can, because those are the easiest, the best statistically, the best percentage-wise, and if you're struggling this much in half-court defense, at least expand it to full court and make it really a long remaining 40 minutes for the Sun Devils.
Yeah, they have to start putting the pressure more on the Sun Devils in order to get back into this game. Arizona State looking to go 5-2 on this short year. And Loyola Marymount looking for the first victory of the season again. They're 0-2 with their one loss coming on Friday from this very same Arizona State Sun Devil team.
Yeah, Loyola Marymount starting off pretty rough this season, although again, there's plenty of time to turn that around. Currently number 5 in the WCHC division, 0 points so far. And in terms of all Division III ACHA rankings, LMU is 81st. Again, by comparison, ASU is 14th. Do with that information what you will. But again, LMU having a rough start to this one. Last season, in fact, number 3 in this division, 13-6 record, 28 total points. It's good.
Yeah, I consider that good as well. But again, if Arizona State, there has been no penalties. We've already been over this. No penalties.
Good for both teams.
And we've seen that from both teams throughout the course of the year.
Oh, yeah.
And if Loyola Marymount could somehow, some way, get an opportunity for a power play early in the second half, they could flip this, not second half, second period, they could flip this game on its side.
I think I might have to disagree based on what I've seen.
Yeah.
And I'm being serious because this offense for the Lions hasn't shown me that even if you're up 5-on-4 players on the ice, it's going to make much of a difference. Again, hopefully that does shift LMU's odds in its favor, but you really have to take advantage of those power plays. And again, you're talking about an Arizona State roster who just last game against this very same team only had 6 minutes in the penalty box. So it's, I don't know if that's really a recipe for disaster in a realistic manner.
There's a low percentage for penalties from Arizona State is what you're saying.
Yes. And it's 0-0 so far for both teams in the penalty box.
We are underway in the second period. An early whistle, 30 seconds in, and a quick line change from both squads.
Yeah, Sierra doing a good job for the Lions offense, pushing that one up the left wing. Unfortunately, I believe it was a full swap for both teams.
Yeah, I mean, you're from Miami. You're somewhat a Panthers fan.
I'm also kind of from Miami. I'm not actually from Miami.
You're kind of from Miami.
We'll take it.
Is the Panthers fandom crazy where you are?
I
because they've been winning?
So there's a lot of bandwagons, yes, and I will admit, like, I'm a casual, I'm a bandwagon in that sense. I've been riding that train very, loosely. But those who are in tune for hockey, those who have been following Panthers fandom for, a certain amount of years, or those who really like to play hockey, follow it, those parades, the videos I saw were insane. Right, I have a few friends of mine who are hockey fanatics, Panthers fanatics. They say, go Cats. They have a little rat toy and everything. If you know, you know, right? But it's, Broward County for those few days for that weekend after the championship both times. I mean, it was a sight to see.
And it pains me to say this. It's just odd to me that a Southern.
My dad's the same way.
A Southern team wins the Stanley Cup. I feel like hockey should be a Canadian, should be a Northeast and Midwestern-driven sport, but the last 5 years, it really hasn't been like that.
Very true. Yeah, it's been flipped up on its belly for the most part. And Florida in particular has beaten multiple Canadian teams to get to that point of 2-time consecutive championships.
Which is very cool.
It is. It really is.
Cool.
It really is. But not only is this a team that isn't in the snow, or a city really that isn't in the snow, but it is in fact like the hottest place in Florida.
Yeah. Right by the equator. 2 minutes now underway in this first period.
It's like Anthony Goose getting a little bit of that defensive prowess that he was known for last season as he heads to the bench, knocking over some LMU now defenders.
Again, Loyola Marymount trying to be better in the possession department here in this second period to try again to scrape back into this game. And again, they're not really showing us that much, not really showing that sense of urgency that they have that drive to get back into this game so far.
Yeah, good spacing here by ASU to force up a good offensive look and a good push there by number 9, Riley Tayas of the Sun Devil defensive line. A California native again. Oh, careful with that baseball swing there.
Now ASU Bring it across into their offensive zone. He goes to the shot. A little bit of a weird angle there for the Sun Devils. That gets deflected off the post. Trying to wrap it around the boards now. Back into ASU.
Good job there by Joseph Rosenberg to do so. He's been putting up a lot of those performances where it's like it's not so much about the stats, it's about the performance, that on the ice recognition more so, as he looks down the rink and can't find much.
And those hustle plays will pay off once we get
100%.
further deeper into the season.
For sure.
As we get into playoff time.
There's another good push there by Rosenberg. Yeah, he's one of those enforcers defensively. For the most part, these hockey rosters, they'll have their lineups of, the starting 5, the starting 3 for the front lines. That'll be, the scorers and then the playmakers, and then further down the line, it's those enforcers. But Rosenberg is one of those high caliber hockey players that can do both. He can be, your poster child on the defensive side of the puck, and he can also just be the enforcer. He's really, there's not much that can hold him back, in other words, on the defensive side.
Arizona State tried getting something going on that offensive possession. Nice check there to regain control of the puck.
Yeah, that was
and now
Keegan
Arizona
Wetterberg.
State's on the attack. No numbers there. Tries for a wild shot there.
Dylan went right over the goal. Luckily, Arizona State gets its possession back. But interestingly enough, Dylan went from Atlanta, as we were speaking of places in which hockey isn't the most popular.
King, right,
yeah.
right.
Hockey isn't even not king. It's like a pawn.
Shot there gets deflected. Arizona State staying aggressive here, trying to extend that lead and add salt to the wound. Wrist shot saved. There'll be a face-off on the offensive zone of the Sun Devils. 5 minutes now into the second period. Score stays stagnant at 4-0.
Yeah, not much has changed so far. We started off the match with a goal off rip. What was that, 30 seconds into the first frame? Arizona State got off to a 1-0 start pretty much off rip, and then since then, it's been just bombardment of scoring. But so far in this second period, it's been relatively, like you said, stagnant. We're only 5 minutes into this 20-minute period.
And here's a big opportunity for the Lions. 2-on-1 here, saved again by number 32, Alexander Frink.
And 43 for LMU, Dylan Slazeman, the LA, California native. 1 goal off the bench last game. He was key in that performance, although, again, it didn't really amount to much necessarily. He's still one of the key guys to this Lions offense. And, in fact, at his time at Loyola Marymount University, he's found himself in Phi Delta Theta since November of 2023. So, man of many tricks.
Man of many tricks. ASU now 2-on-2, I should say. Another save there by another save. And he'll corral the puck. For as many goals as Arizona State has scored today, Colton Marcy is not backing down. He is staying locked in.
True. Very true.
Trying to keep that score at 4 for the Sun Devils.
I'm curious, right? Because this is a member of a team we're talking about, right? But Colton Marcy, goalkeeper for LMU, currently letting up 4 goals. I don't know how many shot attempts and stuff. We don't have those numbers in front of us, unfortunately. But how much he blames himself for these 4 goals, as there's a little bit of slippage there on the top of your screen. There's only so much you can do as a goalie, to a degree.
Especially at this kind of level.
Yes, 100%. But the defense definitely does play a part in, really the goalie stats, and that translates into whether or not a certain keeper is going to start in this game, is going to have to split minutes with somebody else.
You could say the same thing. As now we have a 2-on-1 breakout pass. Nothing.
A bit too strong on the assist attempt there.
A bit too strong in that pass, and if you remember from the first period,
that was Tyler Tremaroli.
Tremaroli scored on that very 2-on-1, and he did not pass it, and he kept it simple. But that time, trying to fit into a window, he could not fit it. Arizona State again on the attack. Oh, great pass, great leave, great glove save there by Marcy. Number 88. We do not have the number for you folks again. The rosters and the numbers are all janky, but made a great move to weave around the defenders. Had a great little wrist shot there.
Oh, yeah.
But Marcy showing off his athleticism with a great glove save. Again, but in the beginning of the second period, we talked about Loyola Marymount trying to possess the ball more, trying to control that ball more and possess it for an extended amount of time, and we're not seeing that so far about halfway through the second period.
Puck possession very much favoring ASU so far, especially right now. I mean, you take a mental screenshot of what you're seeing right now in this game. It's really just been Arizona State in LMU's defensive zone pretty much
the entirety of the period.
Yeah, what's it been?
7 minutes now in the second period.
Yeah.
And it seems like, again, the Lions are playing catch-up this whole time, not being aggressive, backs against the wall.
Very well said.
Marcy knocks that one away, trying to get it back into LMU possession.
Andres Freeman there forcing some trouble up on LMU's back lines.
And here's finally a rare run out for LMU, but it is 2-on-3. Wrist shot saved again.
Very interesting defensive formation there. I believe that was Dylan. No, it was not. That's Nick Hriljack, Illinois native. He was daring LMU to shoot from distance.
Weaves in, leaves it. Freeman shot high, hits the glass.
Yeah, daring LMU to shoot from distance, having to force a snipe. Very interesting tactic, especially on a 2-on-2 situation. You're essentially double teaming the Lion offensive player off the puck. And at that point, you just have to take that gamble, take that risk, take that bet if you're LMU. And granted, that's not the highest quality look, but that's what you're given. And at that point, you're putting all the cards on the table of Alexander Frink, ASU's goalkeeper, to just take care of business on that end.
Gotta find any way to score, and you said that in our pregame. Try to experiment with some different ways to score.
Yeah.
Try to catch the defense more off guard.
I believe no fans on that end to take care of that puck.
We have another whistle, and it will finally be a face-off in the Loyola Marymount offensive zone. We will see what the referees eventually call.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a good opportunity for the Lions to get something going offensively. Again, still applies. We're almost halfway into this game. Not a single penalty minute, not a single penalty call, not anything of that nature. It's been straight up 5-on-5. There's no excuse really for LMU to be falling the way it has, and really it's just like, to what degree can you force a power play, right? Because obviously if it's a 5-on-4 in your favor, it's going to be the odds are swinging your way.
Another score there by Arizona State.
Speaking of odds in your favor,
they're just adding on and pouring it on against Loyola Marymount. I believe that was number 11 with the score for Arizona State.
That's Zachariah Buchanan, Mesa, Arizona native. We'll get confirmation shortly, but that was, again, a great offensive play by Arizona State. But I do want to reiterate, as great as that offensive look was, Loyola Marymount failed defensively on that play. Just lazy transition, lazy rotations, and you're just setting your keeper up for failure at that point. It's really not much else to it.
As a coach, you can only say so many times the puck's not going our way. Sometimes you just got to be in the right place.
Oh, yeah.
And clearly, Loyola Marymount are not in the right places right now, as Arizona State's on the attack yet again after another face-off victory.
Yeah, confirmation that was in fact Zach Buchanan. First goal of the day for him. He put on 1 goal, 1 assist, no penalty time in the last game off the bench, reiterating his importance, his significance to this Arizona State front court. Oh, it appears as if LMU's goal might have come out of its place, but it seems everything's okay.
Your score is 5-0 with 11:30 left in the second period. Arizona State complete an utter dominance, I should say. Similar to what we saw in the first matchup today with the Division II Arizona State against Loyola Marymount.
Oh, yeah. This one might arguably be worse. I mean, obviously it's a shutout at the moment, but...
Number 8, Dylan Went, trying to weave his way through defenders. He was unsuccessful, and that will be another face-off in the offensive zone for Arizona State.
Dylan Went heading off to the bench at this point, get his breath back together. But yeah, really, you look at the scoreboard, you look at the stats, you look at the eye test, any metric you want for this one, it's just been all Arizona State University so far. And again, we're picking at straws when it comes to what has Loyola Marymount done successfully.
Not a lot.
I can't think of much, right? Because
and it could be a case too of this Arizona State team just being so much more talented Great athleticism.
Very much could be
great
the
ability.
case. Yes, we were talking about him. Dylan went earlier. Really, just the entire Arizona State defensive back lines. Dominic Politis, excuse me, from Connecticut. Like, this is a team that skates very fast, right? And one thing in particular about fast skaters is that when it comes to half-court offensive situations, if you can throw the defense off and just have it spinning around on its own axis, that's opening up so many looks for you. And as long as you can get some kind of a shot off, you're always going to be in an advantage if you have fast skaters.
And this Arizona State team is really showing that and is tiring out this Loyola Marymount.
I believe that was a shoulder block, too.
Men. A little scuffle in the crease for the puck. There are 2 shots on goal there for Loyola Marymount, though. That is, if you're a Loyola Marymount Lion, it's a positive thing to start seeing.
Yeah,
just gotta start seeing shots come off the stick.
That was Kai Rivas there for ASU with a good defensive sequence, as a matter of fact. I believe, yeah, the first shot from distance did ricochet off his shoulder, and then he was able to line up his knee pads in with the puck and its trajectory enough to just send it off course as he gets another good defensive play there. And that's going to be going back to a face-off in ASU's defensive zone.
And Frink, just another day in the office for Alexander Frink. Many saves. Shutting down completely this Loyola Marymount. It's Loyola Marymount offense. Face-off won by the Sun Devils. Tries to clears it, but nicks the referee. Referee's a sitting duck right now in the corner. Arizona State eventually gets it out there. Now on the attack, it's a 2-on-3 look for the Sun Devils.
Look at that. That's the speed I'm
talking about. Great dump off and a great save by Marcy.
That's the speed you're talking about, right? Not only the ability to just get your acceleration up as high as possible there, but the ability to turn the corner there by Cade Gramlich, one of the fastest, most talented front linesmen of this ASU offense. Turns the corner, and from there it goes from a 3-on-3 to a 3-on-2 favoring ASU, and unfortunately for the Sun Devils, it didn't transition into a goal, didn't translate into a goal rather, but at this point, you're up 5-0. I don't think that really matters at this point.
Just showing off that speed, like through what you said, piggybacking off of you.
Oh yeah.
These guys, Jack, they get the puck and they go.
Nick Jack losing his helmet there, heading to the bench.
He will have to be subbed out.
Yep.
I assume he wants to stay in.
10 minutes exactly remaining in this second period, precisely halfway through the game. And again, very little dividend paying off for Loyola Marymount so far. The Lions have very much been struggling. They look like Cubs, I'll be honest.
Yeah. That's well said.
Thank you, Tony.
Arizona State now in control, trying to score their 6th goal of the game.
This is such good reading of spacing by ASU's offense. The ability to make plays from different angles across different areas of ASU's offensive zone. It just opens up so much opportunity.
And you kind of get the sense that they're toying with him too. They can do whatever you could do whatever they could do whatever they want with the puck.
I don't know, but it's looking like these are well deserved. Like, look at that play. Are you kidding me? Well-deserved offensive looks for ASU. This is based on merit, right? And that's...
Shot again. Another save by Marcy. 2 shots deflected off the pads of Marcy.
2 shots on goal. Yes, great performance there by Marcy, but kind of you're going off the wrong foot. The first shot of that sequence, I forget who it was shooting, but he was moving right and then shot with his... Moving left, shot with his right, almost snuck it in between Marcy and the goalpost. If he put that one through, it would have been one of the most difficult goals I've seen so far, at least today.
And actually, we have both been wrong these last couple possessions. Ethan Hahn, number 32 from Rancho Cucamonga, California.
Rancho Cucamonga.
Cucamonga, California. He has checked in that goalkeeper. 2 big saves there. That has to be a morale boost for him. Now the Lions, finally on a transition play, blocked again. These last 2 games, the Arizona State goalkeepers have really done a great job at preventing goals.
Absolutely. 2-headed monster. Really 3-headed monster if you want to put it that way. Alexander Frank getting some rotational minutes in today, as well as Kai Rivas. Again, we mentioned him earlier, but Spencer Liebig Played all 60 minutes last game.
He went 20 for 23 on shots against saves.
Yeah.
So
This is a good
have a
defensive backline for ASU.
good platoon set they have with these 3 goals.
Absolutely. And yet you mentioned him, Ethan Hahn taking over for the goalkeeper position here for Loyola Marymount. Last game, again, played all 60 minutes, like Spencer Liebig for ASU.
Finally an opportunity for Loyola Marymount. Gets deflected again. Man, this Arizona State defensive unit is just doing all they can to make things difficult for the Lions.
It's just taking care of those little things, right? Here comes Dylan Wentz on the right wing. He's got nobody on the left-hand side. He's just going to have to force it through the back. Gets a little bit physical behind the net, but nobody's pressuring him to get rid of the puck. And now he goes to the bench.
It feels like they're already in victory formation, if that's even a term in hockey.
It makes sense, right?
It's still in the second period.
You could give up 4 goals and still be leading. That's
5-0 now in this game. We are about at the 7-minute mark of the second period. Arizona State cruising right now. Behind the net. Oh, great opportunity for a score there, but great save by Hahn there.
Yeah, great look. And again, that move to Michigan is one of the most difficult and one of the most beautiful there is in offense for a hockey player to take on. Never seen one done in person, as a little bit of entanglement there between Anthony Goose and his defender.
You just feel like you've been looking on the right side of the hockey rink this whole second period, this whole game rather.
Yeah, there's another good look.
With Arizona State they just have the puck in their sticks the entire time, it feels like. Resetting here. Trying to shake off the defender. Loyola Marymount now with desperation has to become more aggressive on the defensive end.
And
try to get in the puck back.
Speaking of defensive aggression, Ryan Atwell on that last play tried to clear it out. Couldn't even get it to go as Dylan Atwell hits the deck once again. I believe that was Dylan Wentz.
That was
confirmation. I think it was Riley Tayas.
Riley Tayas.
I'm going with Tayas. I see the double L just because it's from California, making that assumption, but.
And again, folks, we are doing the best we can with pronunciations and numbers and names. We do not have a roster sheet, a complete roster sheet in front of us.
No excuses, Tony, no excuses.
So to all the family members out there of some of these players, we sincerely apologize. Loyola Marymount, they've been more on the attack the second period, trying to get something going here, trying to cut this deficit forward. That's a turnover, but a slip there by Arizona State.
It's Joseph Rosenberg once again.
Rosenberg, that does not hurt Arizona State. They recontrol the puck. They don't even think about clearing the puck half the time. They're just trying to get it and go. And clearly he's been working out for them with 5 goals.
Yeah, Keegan
in
Wetterberg,
the first period and a half.
Keegan Wetterberg was literally standing, like completely vertical, like Ashton Gentry in the backfield at Boise State when the puck was right in front of him. And that's the kind of effort it seems like Loyola Marymount is forcing out of Arizona State, which is little to none at the moment.
Rosenberg again.
What a move by Rosenberg. Oh, my goodness.
Gets it into their offensive zone.
What a highlight that could have been.
A shot there. It is wide left.
Not much
Hits
to
the
lose.
boys. They try to wrap it around. Oh, another great move by
Whoa.
Rosenberg. Rosenberg now settling things down, trying to get something going again offensively for the Sundowns.
And a 3-on-2 look there by Loyola Marymount. If Rosenberg were able to get the puck back up top, he would have had the numbers advantage
Save again
there.
by Hahn, I should say.
Went back in the field. Back on the ice for Arizona State, looking to make an impact defensively here.
Shot deflected by number 30 of Loyola Marymount.
And here we go. LMU would have had a numbers advantage if it could get the pass off. But number 43, Dylan Slazeman, who was my initial key to the game for LMU, not only turns the puck over, slams the stick on the ice, and makes his way over to the bench with nothing but utter and raw frustration.
Shot again, saved by Hahn. So Hahn is limiting the damage a little bit more.
He is. He really is. Credit to him.
But he needs more help on the offensive side. Loyola Marymount has had more opportunities in this second period to score. Not catching any passes. Shooting shots wide left or wide right. We need to get more shots on goal.
Absolutely, yeah. And I will say, of the last, what's it been, 35 minutes of gameplay, the last 5 have been the best for Loyola Marymount, although, again, no goals, no crazy offensive opportunities or looks by any means. But You mentioned it. Han has been doing so well as a goalie. I can imagine ASU, putting up 5 goals so far is obviously very demoralizing for LMU's backline of defense, but could very much be worse.
And the fact that Han is playing so well, he can't really do anything about it right now. Remember, they put themselves into such a deep 4-0 hole at the end of the first period. There's only so much you can do as a goalie to try to stop that bleeding. That's what he's doing, but again, he needs more offensive production from his forwards in order to get back into this game, which as of right now, doesn't look like it's going to be happening.
Yeah, there was a decent opportunity there for... Oh! Off the ricochet.
Han went for the glove save. Actually got ricocheted off of his own defensive man's stick and into the goal. That is the 6th goal of today's game, and that's a 6-0 lead for Arizona State. We will get confirmation on that goal here shortly. It just, again, sometimes the puck isn't going their way.
Yeah. But here's another thing, though. In a game where you lose by 6, and in another game where you're down by 6, confirmation real quick. Tyler Tremoroli.
Tremoroli again with the 2nd goal. And Brendan Lewis gets the assist there. Lewis and Tremoroli, really they're part of that high-octane Arizona State offense, and with Tremoroli really running point guard with today's game.
Communication major, in fact. So
there you go.
Seems like it's paying dividend, at least in terms of communication for that offense, because he's
Arizona State. I feel like I keep saying Arizona State again with another opportunity to score. They win these faceoffs and they just go.
I mean, you're a broken record, yes, but so is what we're watching, right?
Yeah.
It's not much has been changing. Arizona State's just really taking advantage of whether by just laziness or it's just a differential in roster, whatever it may be. It's just a lackluster defensive performance, as we see a very not lackluster defensive play there by starting defenseman Nikita Smolyanoi. Huntington Beach, California native. I think it was born around there, actually.
Did you have a favorite hockey player growing up?
I don't know if I... You know what? Yes. Tyler Tremoroli. That's my guy. I got to get his jersey one day. No, I don't think I have one.
If we weren't in the business, I'd ask for a signature. I mean, the Blue Jackets, I didn't really watch the Blue Jackets growing up. And I know some of my family members were Penguins fans. I mean, Crosby. I was a Crosby guy growing up.
I heard
used to go to my friend's house and play, I feel old, NHL 2K11, 12, 13, 14.
Oh, okay. In your bag now. Your bag like the fries are at the bottom. Now, the only hockey player I ever really liked was, I forget his name, but his name was Ben something, and I think he was the goalie for the Tampa Bay Rays back in the day.
The Lightning, not the Rays.
The Lightning, excuse me. Yeah, sorry. We're keeping up with baseball a little bit too much. Dodgers making it to the World Series now. Very interesting.
A lot of people don't like the Dodgers. I like the Dodgers, just because some other teams aren't paying enough money. But that's a whole nother discussion.
It is, yeah. A lot of I mean, we can talk baseball at any time, but
it is hockey time.
It is hockey time.
Under 2 minutes left to go in the 2nd period. Arizona State is winning.
Oh my
handily,
goodness!
6-0.
Was that William Plua?
That was Plua. Another save by Han. We've been calling Han's name out a good number of times this 2nd period.
Good defensive stoppage there as well by the Sun Devils to prevent any kind of leak.
Shot deflected.
And those are the easiest kinds of shots. If you're a right-handed shooter, you're going on your right-hand side. It just doesn't get much easier than that, as Loyola Marymount almost gives up an own goal and then almost hits the referee up along the wall. That would have been a worst-case scenario for LMU.
Here comes Andres Friedman off of a ricochet. He's trying to go get 1-on-2. Runs into Han.
Hickory dickory. There goes that trickery. He almost scored the puck. Instead, he scored himself.
Han looks to be shaken up a little bit. Net is out of place. We'll put that back in as we stop here with 1:09 to go in the 2nd period.
Tony, I want to ask you now, what can Loyola Marymount University do to get back in this one, or even put up, let's just say, a goal?
I don't know. They've had the opportunities, too. They've had some shots on goal. I really think it's coming down to puck possession. It feels like they haven't been able to set up anything offensively on their own offensive zone. It feels like every time they have a shot on goal, it's in a breakout scenario where it's a 2-on-1.
It's just wiped away.
It's just wiped away because, like one of these plays right now, it's puck's loose. They have 3 guys back. They're only 2. Arizona
There's
State
no possession.
There's no possession. That's more your department,
Possession or analytics?
Analytics.
Okay. It's like, what do I have to do with possession?
Now under a minute. 1 minute to go left in the second period. Here finally another opportunity. And again, as soon as Loyola Marymount gets the puck, 4 defensive Devils just completely collapse on it.
Yeah, Ryan Atwell having a good look there, more or less, you know, relative to what we've seen out of this Lions offense. But he had an opportunity there, center ice. In soccer, they call it position 14, zone 14.
Okay.
So that's pretty much between, let's just say, between the blue line, between the goalie's net, kind of in that zone where you see ASU's number 38. That's Brendan Lewis around there.
It's like position A in golf as well.
Kind of, yes. You said golf?
Yeah, position A in golf. When you hit a
That's-
good drive down the middle. See, you're not a golf guy. I'm not a soccer guy.
That's how you got man, like the only oh, good move there.
On the break.
It's going to be Nikita once again.
Nikita gets tangled up in that break, trying to find something. The puck gets tipped up around into the back, and Arizona State tries to clear 2 Lions.
That epitomizes what we've seen out of this Lions defense so far.
Rosenberg gets checked into the boards.
That's Braden Seta Ducati checking him and preventing, again, another leakage of offense for Arizona State.
3 seconds, 2 seconds, and that will do it for the end of the second period. Stick with us if you want to see some blowout hockey. Arizona State leads Loyola Marymount 6-0. Andrew, any takeaways from that second period?
Any takeaways? 20 minutes left.
20 minutes left.
There's always a chance. Never count them out.
Never count them out. We will be back for the start of the third period. Stay where you are. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
As a teacher, you just want to reach people. You want to make a difference. You want to help them. I have an opportunity to do something I never imagined I would be able to do. Go out and build the best biology class the world has ever seen. When you go into Dreamscape Learn, you put on a set of goggles and you can go anywhere. You can be anyone and do anything. The thing about Arizona State University is they're always thinking about what's next. We can create virtual reality experiences so that you can learn by exploring in a virtual world the way that scientists explore in the real world. And kids can feel that. All these emotions are what help the brain encode information. When I see a student come out of VR, the look on their face is nothing like I've ever seen when I finish a lecture. They look so happy to be there. In that moment, you know that you've reached them. As a teacher, you just want to reach people. You want to make a difference. You want to help them. I have an opportunity to do something I never imagined I would be able to do. Go out and build the best biology class the world has ever seen. When you go into Dreamscape Learn, you put on a set of goggles and you can go anywhere. You can be anyone and do anything. The thing about Arizona State University is they're always thinking about what's next. We can create virtual reality experiences so that you can learn by exploring in a virtual world the way that scientists explore in the real world. And kids can feel that. All these emotions are what help the brain encode information. When I see a student come out of VR, the look on their face is nothing like I've ever seen when I finish a lecture. They look so happy to be there. In that moment, you know that you've reached them.
Innovation at the Walter Cronkite School is pushing the boundaries of traditional journalism.
Storytelling has evolved over the years. This is part of that evolution.
Students in the Innovation and Entrepreneurship Lab are using emerging technology to create scenes in augmented and virtual reality, coding playable games, and bringing the audience into the story.
They're only limited by their imagination and their willingness to learn.
Find out more at cronkite.asu.edu. Here at the Walter Cronkite School, students produce award-winning content that focuses on health disparities in underserved communities and how to turn things around. In Cronkite News and Cronkite Noticias, students cover stories that affect people of color, the LGBTQ+ community, people with disabilities, and others across the Southwest.
We highlight big problems that are often overlooked in communities that are underserved.
Those stories not only inform and educate people about the challenges, but we work hard to highlight potential solutions. In the Cronkite Agency, students work to connect with community members through social media campaigns in English and Spanish.
Being a Hispanic myself, it's nice to be able to give back to my own community.
Find more of our health coverage at cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
People have always had trouble trying to put me into a box. A professor, suit and tie is just not me. Without the ocean, I don't know what I would do. You know, the ocean's always been there for me. As Hawaiian people, we believe that the coral is the first living being to come out of the darkness. It's the foundation of our entire lifestyle, and that's what my research is about. What we do is we take photographs of the reef over long periods of time to create models that can tell us what the planet is doing. If we go deaf to what the Earth is telling us, then we'll never be able to live in harmony. If I can get my students excited about protecting the ocean, then they're the ones who are gonna really make the difference. I hope my students realize that I'm not trying to prepare them for something in the distant future. Their time is now at Arizona State University.
When I was younger, there were no engineers around me. So I had to become my own role model. At ASU, I wasn't just learning to be an engineer. I was actually engineering. And graduating, I already had real-world jobs lined up. Before ASU, my goal was to be a strong, confident woman. And when I left, I became a strong, confident engineer.
I grew up in a small border town, and water was really important to us. Without enough water, we can't farm, we can't eat, we can't live. And the way we're doing it right now, straight up doesn't have a future. I went to ASU because this is a place where you solve problems. With vertical farming, we can grow the same amount of food with 95% less water than traditional farming. The work I'm doing at ASU is changing the way I look.
As a teacher, you just want to reach people. You want to make a difference. You want to help them. I have an opportunity to do something I never imagined I would be able to do. Go out and build the best biology class the world has ever seen. When you go into Dreamscape Learn, you put on a set of goggles and you can go anywhere. You can be anyone and do anything. The thing about Arizona State University is they're always thinking about what's next. We can create virtual reality experiences so that you can learn by exploring in a virtual world the way that scientists explore in the real world. And kids can feel that. All these emotions are what help the brain encode information. When I see a student come out of VR, the look on their face is nothing like I've ever seen when I finish a lecture. They look so happy to be there. In that moment, you know that you've reached them.
Innovation at the Walter Cronkite School is pushing the boundaries of traditional journalism.
Storytelling has evolved over the years. This is part of that evolution.
Students in the Innovation and Entrepreneurship Lab are using emerging technology to create scenes in augmented and virtual reality, coding playable games, and bringing the audience into the story.
They're only limited by their imagination and their willingness to learn.
Find out more at cronkite.asu.edu. Here at the Walter Cronkite School, students produce award-winning content that focuses on health disparities in underserved communities and how to turn things around. In Cronkite News and Cronkite Noticias, students cover stories that affect people of color, the LGBTQ+ community, people with disabilities, and others across the Southwest.
We highlight big problems that are often overlooked in communities that are underserved.
Those stories not only inform and educate people about the challenges, but we work hard to highlight potential solutions. In the Cronkite Agency, students work to connect with community members through social media campaigns in English and Spanish.
Being a Hispanic myself, it's nice to be able to give back to my own community.
Find more of our health coverage at cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
People have always had trouble trying to put me into a box. A professor, suit and tie is just not me. Without the ocean, I don't know what I would do. The ocean's always been there for me. As Hawaiian people, we believe that the coral is the first living being to come out of the darkness. It's the foundation of our entire lifestyle, and that's what my research is about. What we do is we take photographs of the reef over long periods of time to create models that can tell us what the planet is doing. If we go deaf to what the Earth is telling us, then we'll never be able to live in harmony. If I can get my students excited about protecting the ocean, then they're the ones who are gonna really make the difference. I hope my students realize that I'm not trying to prepare them for something in the distant future. Their time is now at Arizona State University.
When I was younger, there were no engineers around me. So I had to become my own role model. At ASU, I wasn't just learning to be an engineer, I was actually engineering. And graduating, I already had real-world jobs lined up. Before ASU, my goal was to be a strong, confident woman. And when I left, I became a strong, confident engineer.
I grew up in a small border town, and water was really important to us. Without enough water, we can't farm,
Welcome back to Mullet Arena. Our score here today is 6-0 in favor of the Arizona State Sun Devils. Before we get back to play on the ice, some Cronkite dream schedules for you guys. On October 26th, the women's club hockey will play against Northern Arizona University. On November 1st, D3 men's club hockey will play at home against Northern Arizona University. On the 8th, the men's club soccer team will play against Grand Canyon at home. When we get back from Thanksgiving, more than likely, D3 men's club hockey will play against Air Force on the 21st, and then we'll play them again on November 22nd. On December 5th, men's club basketball will play at home against Parks. And then on the 7th, D3 men's club hockey will play against Grand Canyon University.
Thank you, Tony.
So as they take the ice for the third period, I think I'm confident enough to say that they come back as a long shot. Loyola Marymount just not really stepping up today.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tony's Hot Takes. Never would have thought. No.
Arizona State just completely schematically.
Yes, yeah.
On the ice, athleticism.
I think
probably have 15 or 20 more shots on goal, time of possession. In every facet of today's game, Arizona State has been a complete and utter tyrant towards that.
Absolutely, well said. There's also not much going for Loyola Marymount University at this moment as the Lions take the field now for the third and final frame here in this matchup. It's really just been, like you said, a tale of two different teams, honestly, because one team is getting everything in its favor in Arizona State, the other team getting absolutely nothing in its favor in LMU, and put anything subjective out of the way, the objective truth based on eye tests, stats, the scoreboard is just this is Arizona State's game to lose, and all you have to do if you're the Sun Devils is not give up 6-7 goals in this final frame.
And again, now for Loyola Marymount, it's gonna be a thing of, are they gonna be playing for pride? Are they gonna roll over and quit? At this point of the game, if I'm a coach, you just gotta go out there and play for pride. Play for yourself, play for the teammates.
Does that mean
play
getting
for
into
your
fights?
School. Say again?
Does that mean getting into fights?
It could be getting into fights. We've been wanting a big fight earlier today. We've been
Would-
wanting it
would
earlier
you?
and right now.
If you were on the Lions, would you get in a fight right now?
Right now, yeah, you got nothing to lose.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
a
mean,
suspension.
yeah. I mean, shoulder dislocations perchance.
Per se.
Per se. One might have it.
I want to see a fight. I've never been to a hockey game where there has been a fight.
Oh,
I would
man.
love a fight right now.
So the thing with NHL hockey is that, I haven't really kept up with it as much. I mean, clearly, right? Look who you're talking to. But I think there's much more fights in lower level hockey, and I think this is a great place to, if you want to come here for the fisticuffs, this is a great place to look at.
There really aren't that many cameras around. It's not like you'll go viral on social media for getting in a cheap shot.
Getting leveled.
Yeah.
I will say in the ECHL, back when I lived in Orlando, the Orlando Solar Bears, shout out to them, when they would go up against the Florida Everblades in those playoff runs, it was nothing short of hands. I mean, there would be guys who, 5 minutes left in the game, they would get substituted in, one for each team, immediately drop the stick, take off everything, and it's just hands, like a Popeye's cartoon.
So you know about those Untolds on Netflix, those documentaries. Like there's the one about Florida football. There's the one about the referee, point shaving, and gambling and all that stuff. So there's a documentary on Netflix I want you to watch. It's about a minor league hockey team and how it was bought out by a mobster. And
I got to get through Andor first.
And I know, but there's a clip, the first ever game of that minor league hockey team. As soon as the puck dropped, all 5 guys dropped the gloves and started fighting. It's an incredible watch. It's one of my favorite documentaries. I'm not even that big of a hockey fan.
But you're a documentary fan.
Yeah, sports fan, you know.
That's true.
That's why we're here today. Give the people what they want.
Love for the game. Now let's talk about this game.
Again, Arizona State on. Loyola Marymount defender falls.
Who else?
Who else but Tyler Tremoroli?
Exactly. Took the words right out of my mouth.
Yep. We've been calling his name quite a bit today.
What's he at? 1 or 2 goals?
2 goals, 1 assist.
One assist. Yeah.
On our mock.
Yeah.
White paper cheat sheet of stats.
And I think that play right there, although it was very small, it was very minimal. Honestly, insignificant in every way, shape, and form. But Dylan Wentz there, number 8 for ASU, as he almost puts himself in position to score a goal at the defensive end before that play even began. He stays still by the goalpost to ensure that there is a left wing, a center, and somebody going up the right wing. And he himself, oh my goodness.
Good move. Shoots
Oh, he was
right.
so close to that top bins.
And we do have another goalie substitution for the Loyola Marymount Lions, Christopher Cantillo from Covina, California.
Yes, and going back to Dylan Wend real quick, he ensured essentially that all 3 lanes, left, right, and center, would be filled, and he was going to the right-hand side, but he saw his teammate going that way, so he just stopped and went up the left, and that's a very high IQ play. And it obviously pushed an offensive transition, one which, once again, he almost took advantage of by putting the puck in the back of the net for what would have been the 7th time.
Yet another face-off won by the Sunrise. Pick pass there. Shoots wide left, hits the glass. Freeman regains possession. Another shot from way out is wide left. Again, the ability and the presence of mind for these Arizona State Sun Devils to gather rebounds off of deflections off the back, whether that be the back, the padding of the goalie, or the post. The Sun Devils swarm to the puck.
Absolutely, and a good one-on-one opportunity there by Dylan Slazeman, but unfortunately for him and his attack as he makes his way over to the Loyola Marymount bench, there were no teammates around for him, so it was just him up against, 3 or 4 maroon jerseys. He had an open look. It was a one-on-one, slowed down just a little bit, and it became a 1-on-4 in favor of Arizona State. Again, just a tale of 2 teams.
Arizona State now with already 4 or 5 shots on goal to start this 3rd period. A big check there. Loyola Marymount defender is still on the ice.
Adam
Huge
Gill.
check there.
Adam Gill, San Diego, California native, took his time to get back up. It looks like he's heading to the bench.
Yeah, he's banged up a little bit. He's going back to the bench.
I don't blame him.
Quick substitution for the Lions. A little bit of a jump shot there. He slipped as he was shooting. Another save by our goalkeeper, Alexander Frink. I believe that is still Alexander Frink out there.
Oh, and a good deflection there by Christopher Cantillo from Covina, California. And another one there. Great job taking advantage.
Yeah, Cantillo comes in wide open now. Score, easy score there.
There it is. Arizona State goes from 6 goals to 7 within a span of just a few minutes here in the 3rd frame.
And that was number 11. Again, we don't have the correct numbers on our roster.
I believe that's going to be Zach your cannon. We're just going to get confirmation here. Once again, we'll let you guys know when that comes up.
And that's as straightforward as you can get. That's the most one-on-one you can get. Your cannon again. I believe that's his 2nd goal of the game.
I also wish to confirm that is his 2nd goal.
And because
of the game.
there was that big scuffle in the corner of the boards, your cannon popped out, and your cannon was a true one-on-one player versus goalie there. A couple of moves, and he completely fooled the goalie there.
This was almost a 2-on-1 situation favoring ASU. Oh, one of those two just hit the deck again. It's going to be Rosenberg, Joseph Rosenberg, once again getting himself involved in the offense. He's been very persistent on that end of the ice as Arizona State, once again, another good defensive deflection turning into now a transition opportunity here for Wetterberg. Oh my goodness. He almost had the easiest goal of his life. And I know I keep saying that. I believe that was once again your cannon.
Just no signs of desirability to win. I understand you're down 7-0 in the third period, but again, what I said earlier before the period began, you kind of want to play for pride here. It doesn't seem like the Lions are doing that.
Tony, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Do you think, and I only said, what was that defensive play? And it somehow worked. Well, anyway, when it comes to what is going on, everybody is falling. That was Nikita who just hit the deck. Is he going to the bench? No, he gets back up.
I really think you see some of these Loyola Marymount Lions players. I think it's really just a thing of talent, ability, and athleticism and size. Some of these Loyola Marymount Lions players they look completely undersized out there.
What a poke away.
While most of the Arizona State players are bigger, faster, and stronger.
That was once again Dylan Wendt from Atlanta. A great defensive play by the defenseman. That's why he's there. But that was just the most minimal tap where he put the end of his stick on the hockey puck and just barely enough to get it out of possession. But Loyola Marymount, loses the puck there, and it's another turnover here as the Lions try to get it out of their own defensive zone. A little bit of collapse within both teams and the official.
LMU gets it in the neutral zone now.
But Tony, I wanted to ask you this question before. Considering the fact that ASU, going into this third period, 6-0, obviously now it's 7-0, do you think it's more likely that ASU wins 9-0 or that LMU puts up 1?
I like the idea of them winning 9-0. I haven't seen anything from Loyola Marymount in any indicator for them to be able to score. Most of their shots are down. It's a 2v3 break, and it's just a desperation shot. I really think, and I really hope Arizona State can get it to 10 goals. That'd be incredible.
I was going to say, that would be pretty cool.
It's like a football score.
10-0, yeah.
But as we reach near the halfway point of the third period, Arizona State, if you're just joining us, you've missed a lot. Arizona State has scored 7 goals and has completely took advantage of Loyola Marymount's lack of defense.
Thank goodness for that padding, too. That was a missile, if I've ever seen one. And at the moment as well, we do want to give our props to Kai Rivas, Alexander Frink, the goalie lineup at the moment for Arizona State. Coincidentally, both being Tempe natives, which is in fact the city this very arena is in. But they've allowed 0 goals. It's been a shutout so far, and not only have they been as close to brick walls as they could be for this Arizona State backline of defense, the offense is helping just as much, if not more, with 7 goals.
And I understand that the starting goalie for Loyola Marymount, Colton Marcy, he had a tough time in the first period allowing 4 goals, but really Ethan Hahn and Christopher Cantillo, they've come in and they've kind of shut the door a little bit. I understand they've given up 1 goal each, but
proportionally, yes, I see what you're saying.
Compared to 4 goals with
yes.
Marcy, I'm not saying Marcy did a terrible job, but some of those deflection scores. But
yeah, it is a systemic.
For the most part, it's kind of refreshing to see 2 goalies come in and be consistent.
For sure, yeah. And again, both goalies for Arizona State and LMU last game played all 60 minutes. So like you said, refreshing to see different faces in the same places for both teams.
Arizona State now another 2-on-2 scenario, 3-on-2 now.
Cole Allison.
Great pass there, but no trailer there for Arizona State, but they corral the puck back. Wraps around the boards behind the net.
Cole Allison looking to get something going here for himself for that ASU offense. Now with the puck, tried to shoot it, loses his own footing, the possession.
You're saying everyone's slipping around, it seems like. Last game, it seemed like no one was slipping around.
Yeah.
Everyone's falling and slipping around. Oh, great move there.
Score. Oh, my goodness, a highlight reel.
That is one of the easiest goals you can get there.
Da-na-na, da-na-na. Cade Gramlich from Scottsdale puts it in once again. Arizona State up now 8-0 on these Loyola Marymount University Lions.
I believe that's the first time that we've called his name today. As you guys all know, last game he had 1 goal and 2 assists. Picking up what he left off last game.
And a great performance.
Great performance by this whole Arizona State unit. You said it best. Just outdoing them in every facet of the game.
Yeah, we also got confirmation that Cole Allison, the Goodyear fellow, right? Credited for the assist.
I believe that's the second or third assist for Allison.
It's got to be. We'll have to find out later on.
Playing the role of distributor today.
Yes, and he's doing a great job at it too.
That was almost an own goal scored for Loyola Marymount. Finally something on their side.
Numbers favoring.
2v2, but the defense swoops in again and pokes that puck away.
I think if I'm Loyola Marymount in that situation, that's Dylan Slazeman, who was coming up on the weak side, who now has the puck number 43 in the white jersey, sends it over. It's a little bit too strong.
I believe that was the first shot, not even shot on goal. I believe the first shot that Loyola Marymount has attempted in this third period.
I would have to agree. But anyway, going back to Dylan Slazeman, on that fast break opportunity, it was a 2v2. And in my opinion, if he were to speed it up a little bit more, get that acceleration going, I understand 11 minutes left in what's likely to be a shutout now at this point, 8-0 ASU leads. Speed it up a little bit, give your teammate who has the puck at the moment a better option, a better read, and give yourself a better opportunity for a clean shot on goal, and that's not what happened.
Great check there. Big hit there. These Loyola Marymount players just look tired out there. We'll work on their conditioning.
Did you see who that was?
I did not see who that was. I believe that was 17. I believe he went out.
I thought I saw 17 as well, but I don't see.
A big hit nonetheless by number 17 of Arizona State. Arizona State now again looking to kind of calm it down.
Could that have been 13 Jason Horner?
Could have been.
Could have been. I want to say it was, because I don't see any 17 on the roster.
Completely outrunning the whole Loyola Marymount defense. That's another save by Cantillo. Cantillo being that, and that's a big guy back there anchoring that net too. That's a big boy.
Yeah. The Bengals are calling.
The Bengals are calling, and boy do they need it. The Browns need it too.
Jumping around the animal kingdom from a lion to the Bengal, if you will.
Exactly. We got to talk about Joe Flacco, right? Unbelievable. That's how bad of a franchise the Cleveland Browns are letting Joe Flacco go. I understand you have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins.
You can't be wasting their primes like that, you know?
Unbelievable.
How about LeBron James, though?
LeBron. What about LeBron? You see he's out for the first 2 weeks of the season?
It's nothing. No, it's like 3 to 4.
3 to 4? That's
sciatica.
That's old man stuff right there.
It is. Ooh.
See, if we actually had a tally of shots and shots on goal, Arizona State could be in the 50s right now.
You think so?
I think so.
That's a big number, 50.
Think about how much they've controlled the puck this game.
Yeah, James.
Got saved again by Fink.
Jason Horner, excuse me, with another good look at the net there for the maroon and gold. Gets a little bit tangled up. Shoulder.
Well, there should be a mercy rule in hockey. Once it gets
there
over
might
6
be.
goals, there should be a mercy rule.
What do you think it should be then? 8? You just want to go home. You want to get that burger.
I'm hungry.
Actually, a burger does sound really good right now.
Anything sounds great. I had
Anything,
breakfast
yeah.
and that's it. But the people don't care about what I had for breakfast.
I care, Tony. I care.
I had a yogurt and a banana for breakfast.
A nanner, not the nanner. Ooh, interesting offensive slip-ups here by Arizona State, looking to push it up, and it does so.
Let's see if both coaches, just like last game, let's see if both coaches, either the younger guys or the guys who don't get in as much, finish out the remaining 9 minutes of this game.
Your Cannon looking to force some good defensive plays there. Arizona State giving up what could have been a goal, but no dividend there for LMU.
Great deflection there.
Yeah, I think that was Dylan Slazeman who had the look there. LA native, both Slazeman and Loyola Marymount University. The City of Angels.
City of Angels.
City of Angels.
Finally, we've seen this puck consistently be on Loyola Marymount's side these last couple possessions.
I was
Something that we haven't seen at all this game.
Yes, I was going to mention that. I mean, you brought it up earlier, but that ASU seems to be kind of toying with its food right now. I think that's a prime example. It's kind of lazy passes, but also ones that like just have you scratching your head, raising your eyebrow kind of thing.
And if you're one of these younger guys or guys that haven't really played as much, you want to score. You want to
get your stats up.
Oh yeah.
Get that bag.
Especially playing on a rink like this. This is a very nice rink. My personally first time here at Mullet Arena. This is a beautiful rink.
Me too. Yeah, it's really nice. I just would wish Big Chicken was open.
Oh yeah, you said it. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that the Coyotes have left town. I know a lot of the locals are still bummed out and upset by that. Sometimes I wish the Columbus Blue Jackets left town. But Columbus people won't allow it.
Can't say my hometown agrees with that, but Braden Ducati getting targeted there up against the wall a few possessions ago, showing visible frustration. Now on the defensive, their puck in possession, trying to escape the Arizona State defense on that front line. Does so. Statiska, though, there for the maroon and golden number 14.
Had a look there, but got deflected away by one of the Lions defenders. Now the Lions try
that
to
was
get something
such a
going
bad pass. You don't pass it like that in front of the goal, especially with a goal scorer right in front of there for the opposition. Now double teaming. It's going to be
another deflection. Has a chance to score. Gets saved again by Cantillo. Cantillo, I know he's given up a goal already in this third period. Denying
right?
two.
Yeah,
might be two, but really it looks like he's doing a better job at denying some of these shots as opposed to the other two goals that we saw earlier in this game.
I would have to agree. I mean, Paolatis there for Arizona State. Dominic Paolatis. Oh, here's an opportunity.
The puck squirts out. It's going to be another 1-0, and it gets saved again.
This is a goalie masterclass. Now, I think
there's our boy Alexander Frink.
Yeah, I think that possession right there epitomized that, yes, Arizona State's offense has been absolutely lethal, but so has its defensive backside.
We saw that. Oh, here's another opportunity for Sun Devils and another score.
There it is. We've lost emotions every time we
have
put the puck
lost
back.
emotion. It is now 9-0 Arizona State, and that goal I believe will go to number 13 for the Sun Devils.
Is that 13 or 18? No, I think that's 18. 18 has got the blurry. That's Connor Sessa from Scottsdale.
Connor Sessa, you all right with the peeling off of the 18?
Yes. It's a reverse 3. It looks like a capital B, but we'll get confirmation here.
And I retraced my steps, and now Cantillo has left 3 goals in the third period.
Goals for time number 18. Derek Frank Sullivan. Sullivan with the goal unassisted. Time of the goal 6:16.
Sullivan.
So that's another example of
our roster sheet not being up to date.
Yes, so actually I did catch it before, and it's my fault. I didn't point it out live. But yes, that's Drake Sullivan, Scottsdale native. Last game, in fact, coming off the bench, a goal and 1 assist, no penalty time. Which, actually, let's talk about that. Not a single second of penalty time for either team. It's just a straight up.
Last game we had was
quite the opposite.
7 or 8 penalties, and there was 4 at one time. 3 at one time.
Yes.
3 at one time.
For LMU.
Unbelievable.
I wonder if these two teams, well, they probably do, right? But if these two teams practice with each other and one of them, the Division II roster for LMU, oh, man, there was a good opening there. That was Cade Gramlich.
Yeah, Gramlich was
calling for the puck.
Hitting the stick, calling for the puck.
Yeah.
Deflection almost went into the goal. That would have been Loyola Marymount's first score of the game.
But yeah, as I was saying,
another Arizona State run out.
Skating backwards is dangerous.
It's
Carson Dick.
into the boards.
Yeah, that was Carson Dick, the sole Canadian of this
no
LMU
numbers,
roster.
No numbers as he pulls it out, but actually finds a way to find a hole and shoots. Gets knocked away by the pad of Cantillo. Arizona State now 5 minutes left to go in this third period. Arizona State with 3 goals. 3 goals this third period. Up 9-0.
So there is a chance now. There's a pretty good chance, actually, of this being a 10-0 shutout.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner.
And I really do hope that if that does happen, it gets some kind of recognition online, because it's a 10-0 shutout. 10-0 shutout is pretty rare, right?
That's an abnormality.
Abnormality.
Yeah. In hockey, 100%.
That's like 3 games worth of scoring in one.
And much like we saw in the first game, where over the weekend the Division II team outscored the Loyola Marymount Division II team 17-6. If the score stays at 9-0, the Arizona State Division III team will outscore Loyola Marymount 18-3 this weekend, which is unbelievable stuff.
Yeah, the most goals scored by Arizona State so far this season was 9 goals to this very same LMU roster just 2 days ago. So this is already, at the very least, tying the offensive production, as Arizona State now on the good side of a 3-on-2, and that was just going to be sent up towards the
What
netting.
are the chances a puck gets deflected and gets to us here in the booth?
Oh, man.
High or low?
Well, very low. And the only reason I say so is because pucks usually get shot like towards the goal, so hence why the nets are in the places that they are. But I think the better question is,
are we fighting for the puck?
Well, yes. Yes, absolutely. I know I'm like, what, half a foot shorter than you.
Probably got 30 pounds on me, though.
True.
Of all muscle. We're gonna need that.
That's where we
need that in our intramural basketball team.
That's where we disagree. When in the West Coast, you enjoy that In-N-Out burger, and my mom knows way too much about that. Yeah, I literally said at the start of the period, I wish Big Chicken was open.
I'd be sprinting the Big Chicken after the game. Now Lola Marymount finally with a chance. Wrapped around shot attempt gets blocked.
That's just good.
You could just see the velocity of these Lola Marymount shots are just so low. Oh, great move there. Great pass. Oh, but gets caught up with two Arizona State Sun Devil players. Great move and pass,
Yeah, that was Jason Horner with the highlight play there. Amounts to nothing in terms of scoring for ASU, but here's another good opportunity. That's Hudson Brown.
Pick save. I think that was wide right, but I think it nicked the glove of Phil.
Ooh, big shot there in the corner. That was Jason Horner once again, one of the team captains for this Arizona State Sun Devils roster. But yeah, while we approach our final 2 minutes and 30 seconds, Tony, I also did want to bring up the fact that we briefly touched on it earlier as bodies collide, that these two teams, again, no penalty minutes among either one of them, but do we think, oh my gosh,
10.
What a snipe.
There's our 10th goal scored, and that was by number 14. If we could pull up our janky roster right here. That is by number 14, Noah Stasina, if I'm correct, from Illinois. No, not.
I believe that's Colin Oubre.
Okay.
Well, again, we'll get confirmation for the 10th time now.
Oh, you're right, R14.
Yeah,
he was also a defenseman.
Here we go.
Sun Devil goal scored by number 14, Noah Stasica.
Oh, you got it. You got it. Wait, where are you looking?
Defenseman. He's a defenseman. Interesting.
Oh, you're so right.
And that was another assist by Horner there.
I ruined it for myself.
And what you said. We got another chance at a score here. Gets deflected. I can't believe it's 10-0 in this game. Completely from the first whistle, just complete domination.
Absolutely.
From the Sun Devils.
And I honestly hope they don't score again, because I think 10-0 looks prettier than 11-0.
It's more pleasing, yes.
Yes, yeah, visually,
like when
aesthetically pleasing.
When you're in the car and you put your radio up, you're not going to put it up to 27. You're going to leave it at 25 or go to 30,
Go
right?
up to 30, absolutely, yeah.
Who does that? Maniacs do that.
I know.
Maniacs, I tell you. That's a nice score there for the defenseman. Another abnormal goal from someone who really doesn't score all that much.
I think we're past the point of breaking up the whole penalty minutes thing. It's just left in the dust now.
About under 130 left. Left in the ice. Under 130 to play. Arizona State with an incredible 10-0 lead. 4 goals here in the fourth period, matching their number that they had. Not fourth period. Excuse me. The third period, matching their number of goals scored in the first period as well.
Yeah, what an incredible performance for the Sun Devils. This is exactly what you want to see, and exactly what you don't want to see, on the other hand, for LMU. I don't know if this is the kind of game that you want to burn into your players' minds and say, hey, use this as motivation, don't ever let this happen again, or if you just burn that disc and pretend it never happened.
It'll be interesting to see if they do have film for club hockey. It'll be interesting to see what coach says
where
in
the film? What are you talking about? Where's the film?
If I was playing hockey and we lost 10-0, I know my coach he'd make us rewatch the whole game in practice the next day.
But that's the thing; it's very unreasonable for you to say that, because in what world would you play hockey?
That is true.
How tall are you? 6'7"?
Yeah.
6'7".
6'7".
I'm gonna mistake you for the hockey stick.
Shot left.
Almost.
As we wind down here, it looks like Arizona, unless something extraordinary happens, and that I mean one goal scored.
One goal
by the
every
Lions.
second. Oh, a big hit there against Dylan went right towards the end of the match. That's just going to be a frustration blow.
That's going to do it for Arizona State. Arizona State, outscoring Loyola Marymount these last two games on Friday and today, 19-3. Incredible stuff. Arizona State moves to 6-2 on the, or 5-2 on the, excuse me. Loyola Marymount still looking for their first win of the season.
Your final score, ASU 10, LMU 0.
Absolute dominance in this one, Tony, from Arizona State. I mean, from start to finish, really not much else you can say except for a great defensive performance by Arizona, limiting Loyola Marymount to, again, 0 goals.
And our final score today, Arizona State 10, Loyola Marymount University 0. Our next Cronkite stream will be the Women's Club Soccer versus Northern Arizona on October 26th. Our next hockey stream will be on November 1st when the Sun Devils take on the Lumberjacks. All hockey games, of course, will be streamed on the Cronkite News. For the stream team, production staff, and crew, I'm Tony Carter with my partner here and good buddy Andrew Montana.
Absolute
We hope
pleasure,
you have a
Tony.
great night.
Innovation at the Walter Cronkite School is pushing the boundaries of traditional journalism.
Storytelling has evolved over the years. This is part of that evolution.
Students in the Innovation and Entrepreneurship Lab are using emerging technology to create scenes in augmented and virtual reality, coding playable games, and bringing the audience into the story.
They're only limited by their imagination and their willingness to learn.
Find out more at cronkite.asu.edu. Here at the Walter Cronkite School, students produce award-winning content that focuses on health disparities in underserved communities and how to turn things around. In Cronkite News and Cronkite Noticias, students cover stories that affect people of color, the LGBTQ+ community, people with disabilities, and others across the Southwest.
We highlight big problems that are often overlooked in communities that are underserved.
Those stories not only inform and educate people about the challenges, but we work hard to highlight potential solutions. In the Cronkite Agency, students work to connect with community members through social media campaigns in English and Spanish.
Being a Hispanic myself, it's nice to be able to give back to my own community.
Find more of our health coverage at cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
People have always had trouble trying to put me into a box. A professor, suit and tie is just not me. Without the ocean, I don't know what I would do. You know, the ocean's always been there for me. As Hawaiian people, we believe that the coral is the first living being to come out of the darkness. It's the foundation of our entire lifestyle, and that's what my research is about. What we do is we take photographs of the reef over long periods of time to create models that can tell us what the planet is doing. If we go deaf to what the Earth is telling us, then we'll never be able to live in harmony. If I can get my students excited about protecting the ocean, then they're the ones who are gonna really make the difference. I hope my students realize that I'm not trying to prepare them for something in the distant future. Their time is now at Arizona State University.